Guys, how's it hanging? Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to Microsoft for having me be a part of this Future by Me campaign. Also, thank you to Microsoft for the Surface laptop. This topic that I'm going to talk about in this video is something I've been wanting to make a video about for a while, so just generally excited. Are you really excited? I wish you could see Finn's face right now. He's so not excited. How excited are you? Okay, let's begin. So this whole campaign is about the idea that your job or your future is not about the destination, it's about the journey. It sounds so corny and cliche, but cliches are cliches for a reason, I will say. I just want to talk about my experience and how I got where I am today. Not to say I'm in like some awesome, rad place in my life, but I'm in a place that is much better than any place I've ever been in before. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I have pretty bad anxiety and I am like a... Oh, you yawned. You yawned. You're like, I'm sick of hearing about your problems. He doesn't even know what I'm saying. Okay. I bite my nails from anxiety and just like general lack of sanity. And look, I'm doing good! So I want to talk to you today about how I got where I am mentally and literally in the choices that I've made for my life, my career path, my passions. I know you can't 100% relate to this story or even like 5% relate to this story, but hopefully you can learn from my lessons. Cortana, playing motivational music.
Motivational music on.
So it all began when I was a young child. I have always wanted to be a performer. I'm just kidding. The music is still playing and my laptop is closed. Not a feature I knew existed. Wow! I love my boombox! Growing up, I've always loved acting and performing and improv and musicals. Let's find a photo of me as a wee young dub. Check me out! Singing away. My whole life, my parents, they supported my passions, but they always kind of pushed me away from looking at those passions as possible career routes. They just didn't think I would make a sustainable living, which is fair. No complaints, they love me, they want the best for me. But I listened, and then I kind of veered away from the path that I would have gone down if people hadn't been telling me, hey, maybe don't do that. Although I think everything happens for a reason, so I'll explain to you the path that I did go down, and I'm sure everything will be okay. So when I graduated high school, everyone was applying to colleges. I was looking around and I was like, how do you guys know where you want to go? Because like I visited 10 schools and I was like, sure, cool campus, great dorms. I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't even think I wanted to go to college, but that was just not an option for me. So after I heard back from all of the colleges, I again didn't know what I wanted. So my parents chose for me. It's like kind of embarrassing, but I just didn't care. They chose Boston University because it was an hour away from home. I live in Rhode Island. They wanted me close by. I got into the business school there, which was a really good school, and they were like, well, we know you don't necessarily know what you want to do, but business is a good path to go down so you can go in a lot of other directions. I wish I didn't go to business school. I went to business school at Boston University for 2 years, and I hated every moment of it. I got to college and I was like, all right, this is the time in my life where I have to be serious about my future. I didn't do any plays, I didn't do any musicals, I didn't join the improv team, and whenever I saw people engaging in those activities, I was like, But I felt like it wasn't what I should be doing. That's not how I should be spending my time. So I focused all of my energy. Well, I didn't join clubs because I'm kind of antisocial. You wouldn't think so, would you? But also, I kind of like locked myself in my room and just focused on schoolwork. So yes, I did that for 2 years. And then I lived out in LA for a summer. I've been making YouTube videos for a while now, and everyone who does YouTube moves out to LA. This is the hub. It's the place to be. So I wanted to move here. I was so happy here. I had friends. I felt like I belonged here, whereas I didn't feel that way at Boston University whatsoever. And if you're looking at Boston University or college in general, this doesn't mean you're not gonna like it, but some stuff is not for some people. I like learning. I just don't like the college atmosphere. So anywho, I said to my parents, if I get into USC, would you be okay if I moved and transferred? And they were like, not really, but fine. Which is great. Also, I think something I didn't realize at the time was that I can do things without my parents' approval, but I really yearned for that. I didn't get into USC, and my parents were like, "Oh, shucks, you better come home." So I busted my butt, and 2 weeks before the school year started at LMU, I applied, I got in, and I started the business school there. So I'm actually almost done. I'll be done next fall. I wish I had taken the gap year. If you are even remotely confused about what you want to do with your life, I think a gap year would be really really useful. Had I given myself some time to figure out what I wanted to do, I definitely would have gone down some sort of writing path or humanities. I wish I had spent all that money on an education that I wanted. So a gap year could be very advantageous. I think people who aren't even confused end up changing what they're doing when they get to school. Classic. You go to college and get a degree in this, but you end up doing something on the whole entire other spectrum. And that's the whole point of this zigzag path thing that we're gonna get into. I've spent a lot of time concerned with what I'm going to do. I'm like, I want my parents to be proud of me. I want money. I want me to be proud of me. Where am I going? Constantly sort of like running after nothing because I wasn't living in the present moment. A huge life lesson that I've learned, that is the reason I have nails now, is you will not be doing anything for yourself if you're living in the past or the future. You have to live in the present and be engaged in what's going on now. I realize that I can't be so fixated on what the goal is. Who's to say I'll ever reach the goal? I don't even know what the goal is. So like, I need to be working right now on what I love and figuring it out. I have found that a check-in with myself, like every month, a check-in with myself is very important to my well-being and my function, my life path. I sit down and I'm like, how am I doing? Do I like the people I'm surrounded by? Do I like this project that I'm working on? You're always gonna go through stuff that you don't necessarily want to, but there are definitely decisions you can make and not go down routes that you might regret or that might not move you forward. At the beginning of my career, I made a lot of decisions that I'm not that happy with. I don't wanna like specifically say them because A, I don't want you to ever watch them, and B, I don't know if it would be a contract issue, but one thing I will say is I did a commercial for a hair brand a while ago. While I love that brand, I legitimately use it every day. The commercial was just terrible. I was talking about how much I love sports in the script. I was like wearing a jersey. It was bizarre. I was just not being myself, and I accepted the opportunity because it was an opportunity. Woo! And I've done that for a really long time now, just kind of said yes to things that came to me without really asking myself, is this what I want to be doing? And for the past 2 years living out in LA, I think my path has been kind of like over here, and now I have to redirect it where I want to go. So that's my main piece of advice, constantly asking yourself what you want to be doing. Don't allow the world and the people around you to restrict your dreams and your aspirations, because dude, it's 2017 with the internet. I'm pretty positive anything can happen. There are like 13-year-olds who make more money than most adults. Rich big, rich far. And I want to show you guys something that I found recently. Job Venn diagram. We see things you like, things you get paid to do, things you are good at. You figure out the overlap, and that's kind of the direction you might want to go down. I don't know, maybe this won't work for everyone, but it was very helpful for me. I don't know your deal. You know, fill it out yourself. So anyways, I discovered that I can make my own decision. For some reason, that was something I didn't know. So within the past 8 months, I've started making moves that I really feel passionate about. I've been making decisions more cautiously, I've been reflecting, and now I'm working pretty knee-deep in creating and writing a show that I'm very passionate about. I got hired for my first SAG-AFTRA acting gig. It's crazy to say this, but if you guys look about 3 years ago to up to the past year, you can see my confusion in my videos of like, what am I doing? I'm just trying to make content and somehow figure this out. Now I feel like really this year I've kind of been steering in a direction that I'm passionate about. Even the friends I am surrounded by have changed. For a long time I just kind of sat in whatever situation I was in, but truth be told, I wasn't connecting very much with those people or getting really much out of those relationships. So cut the people out in your life who are toxic. Analyze, who do you want around you? You're a mixture of the 10 people or 5 people you spend the most time with. Really think about your decisions. And don't let people restrict you. Cortana, are you inspired?
Consider this the polite start of the question.
Oh, okay. Good luck. Bye. No, just kidding. Leave a comment down below with a question about either your journey or my journey. I'm gonna pick some of my favorite ones. Look at my description box of my videos in like 2 weeks, and you can see those questions being answered. They're gonna be on Microsoft's platform. Also, I'm gonna leave down below the link to this Future by Me campaign so you can check out other videos from YouTubers talking about their path. Bye.
Until next time, take it easy.